Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, how are you? Don't mind if I pop out those retainers because it really is the morning. I feel like I've never started a vlog here where we are right now, and I probably should keep it that way, but you know, I thought we might as well start our day together and chit chat about what I have in store for y'all. Don't mind my unicorn horn up here. I tried to do that thing down the middle, like the heatless curls, but wrapped down the middle, and I don't know if I was successful. Frankly, it looks like I might have not been, but nonetheless, we will see how it went here momentarily. Teeth care done. This vlog really is gonna revolve around reading, I promise. I just wanted it to feel like we were just living life together a little bit. So there will be reading. I have 2 arcs that I'm planning to read this week. Those are gonna be the priority. And then I feel like I started another book. I think I started an audiobook, but we'll have to double check what book. Or I haven't started it yet, but like I just got it from the library, so I'll probably listen to that this week too. And that is a pretty good like amount of reading to expect from myself. It's probably a little too much to expect from myself, but not too outside of the norm. So that will be the priority. I definitely feel like I've been slacking on goals. So I'm just gonna try to realign myself with what I want to achieve and like what I want day to day. Because I feel like my day to day is what's hurting me. You know, just a little bit too much time on the little screen, and then the slightly bigger screen, and then the slightly bigger screen than that, and then the full big screen. Just a lot of screen interaction. And I'd like to have more real interaction, or at least productive time with myself that feels like fulfilling. I think that would be very cool. So, and I will try and take you along for that, because maybe you've also been trapped under the spell of the screens. Happens to us all, but kind of showing you like how I have to deal with myself in those cases, because I seriously have to treat myself like a little child, because I just have 0 discipline. So it's like I have to put it out of sight, out of mind. That's where we're at, but we'll see how we do today with all of that. And skincare is done, teeth are done. Let's take a peek at the hair. I'll try and show you how it looks, and then I will get ready for the day and check in with some reading updates afterward. I feel like I don't know how it's gonna look. I really don't. Wait, I mean, it kind of worked, right? Some are like looser than others, but honestly, that does not look too bad. This looks way better than the other heatless curls, in my opinion, because it doesn't take like the volume away from your hair and like the top. It doesn't feel like pulled super tight. But wow! I'm actually like stunned. I'll probably put some like hairspray in and a little bit of hair oil after I get dressed, but that is kind of iconic. It kind of seriously worked. Wow. Wow. Okay, friends, it is time for a good old-fashioned check-in about the arcs I'm reading. So, I mentioned them at the beginning, but of course, I never explain anything, so it would seem. So, I'm checking the percentage I'm into these books. Okay, I'm at 33% of the way into Not Another Love Song. This is by Julie Soto. This book is eating. I'm enjoying every single second. This story is really about a cellist and a first chair violin and the tensions between them. There's a lot of moving stuff going on regarding like their careers and being in the orchestra and competing to be first chair, things like that. But as a girl who grew up playing the cello, this just does exactly what I want. I'm not sure if this is Raylo. I should look back. It's given Raylo. It's given Raylo fanfic vibes. I honestly think this book might be. I feel like she had an opening and she talked about that. We're gonna double check some of that for you. This is Raylo, you guys. This is her first Raylo fanfic she ever wrote. At first it was giving YA vibes, but honestly, I just got a chapter from his perspective and that was not PG, so I'm feeling like it's gonna pick up and I'm very excited about, you know, those endeavors? What's the right word? I'm absolutely excited for those developments, if you will. Now, on to the other book I'm reading, Long Live Evil. I'm 41% of the way through this bad boy. What a treat, what a different story overall. This is about a girl who is dying of cancer in the real world, and she's given this opportunity to enter a fantasy book. If she's able to complete her mission, her tasks in the fantasy world, you can come in, baby. Special delivery.
Drop these over here.
Yes, please. Please, good sir. Thank you for the delivery, love.
Of course, dearie.
She's given the opportunity to enter this fantasy world, and if she can complete her mission, her task there, she can live in the real world. You know, she can survive and not die from cancer. There's a lot of talk of cancer, so just throwing that out there for anyone who's thinking about picking it up. But this is such a humorous book. When she enters the fantasy world, she's cast as the character most like her, I think, and she's cast as the villainess. So it's a very fun character, and she says kind of goofy modern things that don't make sense for the book, but it's done well. It's like not cheesy and uncomfortable. It's very gripping and fun. So good things to say there. I will say it's a little confusing. Parts of it, I'm like, I don't really know what you're talking about. I'm not following. So it is a little bit too much for the cogs in this brain specifically. But those are the reading updates. Those are the 2 books I'm reading and a bit of a synopsis about them. Of course, I'll keep checking in with y'all, letting you know how it's going, but that's it from me this Saturday night. It's a crisp 8 p.m. Just got my treat and tea delivered, and it's time to get back to it. So I'll keep y'all updated. Good morning, y'all. Just finished Pilates, but now we're returning 2 books that I didn't read at all. Isn't that just how it goes? That is just how it's been with the library lately. Like, I just have too many books on my plate, and therefore things are not getting read to their highest potential. But sometimes you just gotta reset and be like, I can get these at the library later. And I have arcs to read, which has to take precedent. Meal I made. This is to prove that I make meals. Did I make this meal?
You made this meal.
And and are you happy about it?
Yeah.
Good. I also learned a TikTok dance that took 30 minutes, so that might be part of why this meal is so simple, but you know.
Simple's good.
Gotta do what you gotta do. Brennan, check in with the viewers. How are you?
Good. Dinner
living
time.
large.
Yep, living large. Darcy's having his dinner, so the longer we wait to eat, the more likely it is that he'll
Okay,
come and
fine. Let's eat. Besties, hello, good morning. Good morrow. Ladies, I'm not gonna lie to you about today's elite lineup for reading time. Stick with me here. Sprite, water, crisp and cold. Beautiful, stunning delish. A little bit of a snack bowl, if you will. You know, just a couple things to tide me over during this reading session. And last but not least, a matcha to keep us going. So, oh my goodness. First off, good morning. We are, you know, just chilling today. Can you tell by my attire and my appearance? We are just reading this morning because it is almost the end of the month. So we gotta finish these arcs, y'all. We are getting there. We are getting somewhere at least, but we are not there yet. So, you know, that's how it goes sometimes. But one of my fave girly pops is doing reading sprints today. And honestly, like 5 minutes, so I gotta finish this up. So I'm gonna watch the reading sprints and obviously read during them. It's nice, you guys. Do some reading sprints if you're in a rut. It does help. Helps me stay focused and locked in. I also love to host reading sprints, so I should really do another one again soon, but it's sometimes it just feels like a lot, but then other times I'm like, this is so easy to accomplish, please. So let me give you some matcha action shots for fun. All right, besties, gonna show you just the setup for a lovely afternoon here. I do have ambiance on. I don't know if she's gonna do ambiance for the sprints or not, so we will see. But this is my girl, Books and Heather. You guys, she's great. I'll put her in the description or something. You should check her out. She's very bubbly and makes lovely content, but got the Kindle, got my 3 beveraginos, and then my snacks. So basically, I'm in it for the long haul. Hopefully I'll check in soon, and hopefully I will have finished one of these arcs so we can like get down to the details. I have not picked up Not Another Love Song since we last spoke because I just have been kind of chipping away at this one. It's a longer book, and honestly it's just been very consuming. So 77% through it now, and let's see what that lines up with. 3 hours left. So honestly, hopefully I'll finish this today, but I might switch between this and Not Another Love Song because I don't want to burn out on it. I gotta be so real with you girly pops, and I had to check in early because we are at 81% and something just happened that has rocked my world, made me want to cry, die, throw up. I can't handle this. I can't handle what just happened. the 81% mark. I'm not going to tell you any further because I think you should read it. But anyways, hopefully it's not true. Oh, I've said too much already. I gotta let you go. Besties, good and morning to you. I am getting ready for the day. To be honest, I am not as chipper as I'm acting right now. It has been tough to get going today for sure. But we're doing it. And my skin, you know, is doing its thing, which is usually just devastating to me. So, what can you do? But finished the book last night. That is basically what I did. Like, I think I checked in when I was doing sprints. That evening I did officially finish that book because I still had like 3 hours, I want to say. So I think I did sprints for 2 and then I finished it right before I went to bed. So lots of thoughts, lots of things. Honestly, I feel like I'm still like collecting myself after it's over. I've been thinking about the book a lot. Like, it's just all that's on my mind. So I feel like that's a really good sign that, like, you know, I was enjoying myself. Okay, come on. Darcy's scratching at my chair, and when I turned to let him up, he's like, okay. I mean, he really is just an attention whore. I wonder where he got it from. Come up then. Come on, you can sit with me. Or don't, but I'm turning around because I gotta get ready. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about that. I think I'm gonna share my final thoughts on that at the end of the vlog, and I'll share hopefully my final thoughts on Not a Love Song. Is that what it's called, or is it called Not Another Love Song? I feel like I keep calling it the wrong thing. And today, Reckless by Lauren Roberts came out. Now, as you guys know, if you've been around here for a minute, I was not obsessed with the first book. I didn't think it was bad. I just didn't think it was something to write home about. Like, I didn't think it was as big of a deal as other people did. But I've heard clips of the audiobooks, and the person who reads for Kai has quite a nice voice, and I decided I'm going to try consuming it in a different form, if that makes sense, and see if I enjoy it more. So I started that today. There we go. Here he is. You're officially here, huh? He's such a diva, you guys. I don't think you understand what I live with. He's like, things aren't about me right now, and I'm not into it. Well, you can lay down. You can lay down then. I did start that this morning, and I do like his voice. It definitely helps. I don't think her writing overall is like particularly amazing, and I don't want to trigger people because I know people really like her and really like Powerless. For me, it's just not that stunning, but I think the listening experience is definitely like improved the experience for me, but we'll see how I feel. I'm only like, I want to say I'm like 5 chapters in, so I'm gonna keep listening to that, filming today, and I will read the Julie Soto book this evening probably. But you know, you guys are along for the ride. You'll find out what I'm doing and when I'm doing it. But I did want to take a minute to yap your ear off about another subject because I have you hostage. You're here watching, and I can, you know, talk about whatever topic I want. So I have been thinking a lot about TV shows recently. Like, I've been trying to find a new TV show that's kind of speaking to me. And I kind of want to tell you guys what I've been watching. Like, I just want to chat TV for a minute because recently I'm like not a movie person. So I feel like a lot of shows are coming out recently. I'm going to be honest with you about Bridgerton. I don't really care what's happening. The first half, I was into it, and we only watched 1 episode on the last half of the season because I don't know about anybody else. Like, it has just fallen off for me. Like, it's very much about other people and less about our couple, I feel like. I don't care what these other people are doing. Pardon my French. I don't care. I don't, like, need to know anything about anybody else right now. It's just too much. Like, they're just trying to show us a story for every single character, and I'm overwhelmed, and I didn't sign up for that. Anyway, so Bridgerton's not doing it for me. It's not cutting it. Clearly, that's what I'm trying to say here. So, just this week, I think, the My Lady Jane show on Amazon Prime was released. Now, this show is based on a book that I read in my preteens, and I really enjoyed it. When I read it, I don't think I kept going with the series, but I remember really liking it. I don't remember well enough to tell you how well they're sticking to the story, but this is definitely more of an adult version of it. Like, the language, the content is adult, but this book was definitely, I think, written for middle grade, right? Like, somewhere in there. So keep that in mind, because they definitely have adultified it. But it seems interesting so far. Like, I think it'll be entertaining enough at the moment. I loved Maxton Hall, and it's all I think about. It's just like, I need another Maxton Hall, basically. So if you have a show to recommend, leave it. If not, we can totally talk about how there's so much TV and yet nothing worth seeing. We can discuss that as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna leave this vlog here in front of the books in our happy, safe place. I've been thinking a lot about how to end a vlog, and I'm not quite certain I know how. If y'all have suggestions, let me know. Like, do you just say bye and just like leave it where it is? Or do we wrap it up? Or do we do a wrap up? Like, this is things that haunt me, you know, things I need to learn. But today we are going to end with my final thoughts and ratings on the 2 arcs I read during this vlog. I have not finished Reckless yet. In fact, I haven't picked it up in many days. That's my own problem. So we only have the 2 books to talk about. Starting with Long Live Evil. This one is by Sarah Reese Brennan. Wow. Felt so lucky to get this arc and truly ended up loving it. I would give this one a 4.5 stars. Really, the core of the story is that our main character is dying of cancer in our real world, and she's given the chance to live through entering the fantasy world. Honestly, this story was unexpected for me. It was fun and, you know, just a touch weird, which I felt like it was just weird enough. You know what I'm saying? I think if you are willing to enjoy and not take it too seriously, it's very meta, it's campy, it doesn't take itself too seriously while you're in the fantasy world, and I found it super engaging. Our author, I feel like, took this cliche kind of storyline and was able to breathe new life into it. I think this premise is clearly just interesting on its own, but truly the journey we go on with our characters in general, really make this one worth the read. I think my biggest critique is really the beginning was difficult to get into and get through. I feel like we could have edited down some of the world building into a more clear, concise message. And I think that's why the beginning was difficult to get through, because I felt like it was a lot of info dumping, a lot of trying to establish this world. And I actually don't think that served the overall plot. I felt like this is a very character-driven story in a unique situation, and I think that's where this story shined. So I think some of those things could have been pared down to be more digestible and enjoyable. Clearly, I loved it. Clearly, it's in that top 5, and I cannot wait to pick up the next one. The cliffhanger was serious. Oh, don't even get me started. It was serious. I need y'all to read this and DM me about it. We need to talk. And the last book we have to talk about to wrap up is Not Another Love Song by Julie Soto. This one is about what would happen if the first violin and first cello got freaky. That is basically the basis for this, and it very much so serves fanfic energy. I ended up giving this one a flat 3 stars, which honestly was kind of a letdown for me because I was so excited to read it and I was really loving it during my first check-in. I was set up to give it a 5-star. Like, that first 30%, I was like, you guys have me locked in and loaded. I'm ready for this. However, we went downhill from there. I do not think they gave rivals / enemies to lovers or anything like that. And I thought that was pretty upsetting, knowing that it's like a Raylo fanfic inspo, right? I did not think that came across super well. So it's like, that's a major strike. The second strike for me was that I did not feel like these characters cared deeply for each other, and the only times that they had intimate moments or moments of like real care for each other was when they were playing music or they had just performed. It had something to do with their musical prowess, I guess. And I liked that they were both successful and that they wanted to create music together and they were really good together. But I didn't like how every intimate moment had to be sandwiched with some musical aspect, because it made me feel like their relationship wasn't deeper than their careers and their music. And I wanted it to be. At the root of it, I did not see an emotionally fulfilling or successful relationship between these characters happening. They would boink and then fight and then boink again. They just kind of kept going in circles with it. Honestly, in the end, I loved the idea of this one. The first 30% was right where I wanted it. It's just we really teetered away from the things I was loving. And I appreciated how some things felt similar to Ali Hazelwood's writing, who I really like. It didn't feel like a carbon copy of that at all, but it just felt like it was in the same vein as her. But I just feel like at the end, our characters did not live up to this story, and the steam got repetitive, I gotta say. So that's my final thoughts on that, and I suppose those are my final thoughts overall. I've enjoyed spending this week with y'all. Can't wait to do it again soon. Let me know if you're gonna pick up either of these books, and if you do, let me know what you think of them. I plan to talk more about arcs as a whole during this video, but I just didn't know how interesting that would be for everyone. But I could definitely do more content around that, and I love getting the opportunity to read books and then talk about them with you guys. So let me know what books are coming out that you're excited for. So it goes, at some point we do have to say goodbye, so love you lots. Thank you for being here. Cheers.